What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have one last day of driving. We started out in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're almost back to Spokane. It's been 30 something hours so far, and we only got a couple hours left, so let's go. Let's go rip. That sure is clinky. All right, guys, we made it all the way back to Spokane. Quick little, I think it was an 8-hour drive today. So in total, I'm pretty sure we put, let me take a look. I think it was 23 or 2,400 miles on this car from when we left Nashville. Because we went south, met up with JDC, came back up north through Nashville, all the way back home, went to Mount Rushmore. There's a lot of extra miles on the car. But yeah, around 2,400 miles on this thing in total, which is crazy because the previous owner had it for 2 years and only supposedly put 3,000 miles on the car total. Kind of cool seeing all the cars in the shop, where I guess the majority of the cars, they all fit well, fit better than expected. And of course, if we ever need more space for anything, all we'd have to do is throw a car on the lift it up, throw a car under it. But the first thing I want to get done today, we don't have much time, but I want to get this thing cleaned up, washed up. It's super freaking disgusting, of course. Bugs all over the front end, bugs all over the windshield. There is a small oil leak somewhere. So there's oil on the back of the car. And it'll probably be a little bit before we actually dive in and start getting this thing fixed up because we have other projects that we've already started. So I'm gonna pull her outside. Let's pressure wash the engine bay, get that all cleaned up because I know it was leaking oil, and then do a quick wash on the exterior, kind of go around the car, see how it looks. And then I do want to get some other stuff on the S2000 finished up today before we wrap up this video. All right, we got her all cleaned up. It's always nice doing the first wash and seeing all of the damage on the car. So it's got a little bit more than I would hope for. Of course, the bumper, skirts, rear bumper, those all need some love. All the carbon on the car needs some love. Front fender has a little crack in it, which I'm not sure if we can fix or just put a new fender on it. Of course, the car needs quite a bit of other maintenance things. Brake pads, rotor seemed a little warped. It's got that oil leak. Of course, the clutch is gone. Definitely needs a retune. But other than that, I feel like it's a really solid base. Pretty low miles, 50, I think we're up to 52,000 miles now. And I feel like overall the body is pretty clean. Interior is in really, really good shape. And she does have a pretty decent mod list on it as well. I don't have time, of course, to completely tear into this car right now because we have so many other projects going on. We left off to Nashville, just finished painting up this fender and the bumper. We need to completely wrap that project up. The fender needs to be wet sanded, bumper needs to be wet sanded, buff everything out just so it's nice and flat. Quite a bit of orange peel we got going on, so that is what we're gonna finish up today. I hope we can get it done. And then maybe give the rest of the car a bath because it's so dusty and dirty from prepping out these parts for paint. In the past, I've always used just hand sanding to knock down orange peel, but this time around, I'm gonna try and attempt machine sanding to get this orange peel knocked down, just because this fender is so big. Being that we just painted it, I know that there's quite a bit of clear coat on it because I'm the one who laid the clear coat down. So I'm gonna go 1500 grit and then probably 2000 if I have it. If not, I'll just jump to 3000. I have these 3000 Trizac pads, which is a foam backed pad, and this whole time I will be using a foam interface pad as well, just so we don't start burning the edges. So if we have 2000, I'll use that in between. If not, I'll go 1500, 3000, and then we can bust out the buffer and polish out the fender. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. I hope we can get it knocked down flat without burning through it all. I really need to practice painting more because there's so much orange peel in this fender. This is probably like 20 to 30 minutes worth of work so far, and it's taken forever to knock down with the 1500. I am going to grab some 1000 grit and some more 1500 and 2000 as well, just so we have variety of different grits to work with. And then 1000 grit should help knock it down way faster. And we only have one 1500 grit left. So we're running out of paper either way. I'm gonna jump on the bike, head down, grab some paper, come back, knock this thing down. Hopefully we can get it completely flat like the rest of the car, so it looks proper and so you can't tell it's been repainted. That is the end goal. All right, we got a wide variety of grits. Let's go ahead and get this thing knocked down and see how she's gonna look. All right, this is how she looks all sanded down. As you can see on these edges right here, I didn't want to go super deep because it'd be really, really easy to burn that whole entire edge. So if you can still see shiny areas like that, that means you're not deep enough. And if there's no shiny areas like down here, that means it's completely flat. That was 1000. I'm gonna run through the 1500 wet, 3000 Trizac wet, and then we can move on to polishing. We are all finished up with sanding this fender down. You can see how flat it really is now. Looks absolutely amazing. Let's move on to step one with buffing and see how this thing's gonna look. So here's the final look on the fender that we just finished up. She turned out absolutely flawless. I didn't get around to doing the bumper. I'm tired. I'm gonna go home and get some sleep. But overall, super stoked with how this paint job came out. Bumper needs way less work than the fender, but check out how flat that fender looks now. Looks amazing. I am gonna give it probably a month or two before I go ahead and ceramic coat the fender and the bumper. I know these things need to completely cure before doing any sort of coating, protective coating on them. So I'm gonna give it a while, at least a month, and then we can go ahead and get the fender and bumper ceramic coated. Obviously we need to still wet sand and buff out the bumper, but overall, pretty stoked with how it came out. Pretty cool seeing all the cars in the shop with the new purchase. I can't wait for this build. It's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow.